What's good, racing world? This is Matt Dodds, aka Mr. Matt Racing, here to bring you a new edition of Time Trial Tuesday. Now, this past weekend, we were at Watkins Glen International. And I gotta tell you, based on the question I asked on my Fast Friday post about Watkins Glen, Shane Van Gisbergen, Connor Zilisch, or the field, survey says all of the above. Friday in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, round one went to Caden Honeycutt. Saturday in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, round two goes to Connor Zilisch. And on Sunday in the NASCAR Cup Series, round three goes to Shane Van Gisbergen. Let's get right into it. We got a lot to talk about. Now, starting off, we have the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Caden Honeycutt gets his first career Truck Series win after on two different occasions this season being passed for the win. He passed Connor Zilisch of all people on the final restart. But there wasn't as much talk about that as there is about this topic. Gio Ruggiero had a restart violation, a rather questionable restart violation, after NASCAR said that he went early while trying to stay ahead of Connor Zilisch on one of the green-white checkers. But every replay shows that Brendan Queen hit him square in the bumper, forcing him to go sooner. So my question there is, why did NASCAR penalize Gio Ruggiero? It was clearly Brendan Queen's fault. Queen went first, but since he wasn't the control truck at the time, he wasn't going to get a penalty anyways. But yet Ruggiero is fighting for the win, was the control truck on the restart, but because he gets hit from behind, he gets penalized? That wasn't his fault. It's not his fault that Queen wanted to go before him. You can't possibly sit here and tell me that there's any sort of justification behind the penalty. And of course, Ruggiero after the race says that NASCAR gave him nothing more than a simple half-hearted apology if you want to call it that. And there was no further explanation. NASCAR straight up screwed Gio Ruggiero out of career win number 2 for something so stupid. So I feel bad for the kid. I really do. Took away a great finish, a shot to win. NASCAR needs to do better policing restarts. NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series saw a crazy comeback from Connor Zilisch. I'm going to go a little more into depth into this one. It's worth talking about. Connor Zilisch pits with 25 laps to go under green, while most of the field decides to stay out and save fuel and try to make it to the end of the race. Zilisch is 40 seconds back when he finishes his pit stop. Yet, by the time we get down to the later stages, he's almost right there on Jesse Love. He's within 2 seconds of him. Then with 6 to go, he shortcuts the inner loop and almost cuts down his right front tire. He damages a splitter. And yet, despite that, he's still catching Jesse Love after a couple laps of trying to get gathered up again. And eventually, Love overcooks turn 7, coming to the checkered flag, and Zilisch passes him in the final corner to get the win, remaining undefeated, never lost, at Watkins Glen, 3 for 3 in the series. So, with that being said, the question is, how do you stop Connor Zilisch on the road courses in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series? The truth is, there's almost no way you can unless you get him off strategy. And even getting off strategy didn't hold him back. The way Zilisch carries speed through the road courses, even in the tighter sections that you're supposed to go slower in, is just absolutely incredible. He's able to gain 2, 3, 4 car lengths on the cars in front of him with ease. Anybody else who tries to do that is either getting spun out or they're going through the infield. Like, Zilisch has a talent that we haven't seen on the road that even Shane Van Gisbergen can't do. At least when it comes to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, Zilisch looks like SVG 2.0. In the Cup Series, I'm going to get to that in a second, he's getting there. He's shown signs, but he's not at Van Gisbergen's level in Cup yet. Now let's go to the Cup Series. Shane Van Gisbergen pulling off an incredible comeback. Stays out with 40 laps to go when most of the field pits, which means he has to come down pit road in the next 15 laps. Pits with 24 to go, comes out 29.2 seconds back of the lead. And again, most of the field is choosing to stay out, save fuel, and try to get to the finish without stopping. And I got to tell you, the drive was insane for Van Gisbergen. It took him just 18 laps to get to the lead, and he ends up winning by over 7 seconds. Like, how do you stop that? That's going to be the question. How do you stop that? Like, Van Gisbergen has road course expertise that nobody has. The ability to take care of the tires and then scoot away from everybody in the second half of every run. The right foot brake technique that he possesses. And just being able to run the fastest laps, even on 20-lap older tires, than the rest of the field. At this point, it's not a clean air issue. It's just talent. Like, nobody else could top him. Even when fresher tires of 20 laps got into second place, Van Gisbergen was still able to match their lap times or still be a few tenths faster. At this point, the only way to stop this kind of domination is if something were to happen to the 97. Like, that's the only way at this point, because getting him off strategy still resulted in making up 46 seconds on Ty Gibbs across those last 24 laps. FS1 came out with the numbers. Like, I'm not joking. Round that up to 46 seconds that he made up on the 54 car, who was leading up until 6 laps to go. It's just crazy what he can do on these road courses, especially in the Cup car. But speaking of Cup, I want to follow up with a quick bonus question. What are we going to do about the racing? Because the Cup race saw yet again that downforce is a big issue with these cars on the road courses. Because aside from that crazy drive from Van Gisbergen and the fact that Connor Zilisch was able to keep the leaders honest in second place until his right front went down late in the race, there was hardly any passing. It was a severe lack of passing. Like, you couldn't get past anybody. Once you caught up to them, you couldn't gain any more speed. The car was just getting too tight behind the car in front of him, and you had to rely heavily on pit strategy as well as restarts and where you line up on the restarts. Because, like, once the field got single file, it was just too hard to make passes. We need to lighten the downforce in these cars to where it creates better passing opportunities. The cars could suck up to the back of somebody and just be able to make the pass. Like, be able to outbrake them, get a run on them, or whatever the case may be. Like, we shouldn't have to always rely on the car falling off in front or just whatever position you come off of pit road in. Like, that's the only way I think that's going to fix road course racing in a sense. Because we're clearly seeing this season that horsepower is not fixing the issue, except for tire wear. And even then, that's still not a factor in traffic. On a side note, I do want to shout out Vegas.Vicky, who wrote on my short, "After watching your Fast Friday video, I went with SVG based on your take. Thanks for the great insight." No problem. And thank you for writing out as well. I tell you, he's always an easy bet on the road courses, just because of the talent level alone. Wouldn't be surprised if he does it again in San Diego, but we'll see what happens. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about Watkins Glen? Did you like the racing? Did you like the new track limits? They certainly surprised me. I thought it was going to eliminate a couple of passing zones, but it turned out not to be the case. But let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, share this video, comment, subscribe for more content. It's totally free. Helps me out. Greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the little bell that notifies you when I upload. And then stay tuned for Fast Friday All-Star Edition. The $1 Million Championship at Dover Motor Speedway is coming up for this year's All-Star race. Until then, see you on the road.